Hello everyone, thank you for joining us for this Introduction to Your School of Study webinar. This session is for our health, medicine and life sciences students, particularly those who will be joining us for the departments of allied health professions, midwifery and social work and nursing and health and wellbeing. So you're all on courses within these departments. So thank you for joining us today. Just before we begin the slides, I'll just give you a little tour about the features that you can use to interact with us panelists today. So you've got a chat feature. Please feel free to use the chat to talk to each other. Do be mindful about sharing your personal details in there though, because it is an open session today. And then you've also got the Q&A button. So if you do have any questions for us panelists throughout the session, please pop those in the Q&A, just because the chat sometimes moves quite quickly and we don't want to miss any of your questions as well. And lastly, the session is recorded, so if your internet does drop out halfway through or there's any bits that you want to rewatch later, we'll be sharing a copy of the recording via email with you when it's ready. Now, what we'll do for you, we'll introduce ourselves so you know who you've got on the session today. So my name's Kat. I work in the international office, and later in the session, I'll be giving you a bit of an update on what you can prepare now to help you for the start of term.
Hi everybody, my name's Jess and I work with Kat in the international office. And later on, I'll be asking your questions live to the panelists. So you can just add those to the Q&A section and we can get those answered live for you later on.
Hello everybody, my name's Karen Beaton. I'm Head of Department of Allied Health Professions, Midwifery and Social Work, and we'll be talking to you about the departments today.
Hello everyone, I'm Philomena Shaughnessy. I'm Head of Department of Nursing, Health and Wellbeing, and I'll be talking to you about the nursing programmes.
Excellent, thank you. So you're in good hands today, everyone. This is the perfect opportunity to hear a bit more about what to expect for September and get your questions answered. Now, to give you an idea of what we're going to do, so first off, you'll have the introduction to your school of study, learn a bit more about what's waiting for you at Herts. Then I'll run through that start of term preparation that I mentioned, and after that, that's when we'll be going to the live Q&A. Do keep an eye on the Q&A button though, because we will be typing some answers as we go, and you might find that somebody's already typed an answer to a question you had as well. So check out those answered questions column as well. Now, just before we start, we'll just see what subject areas we've got in the audience with us today. So I'm going to launch a poll on screen, and you can feel free to take part in it. It's all anonymous. So I'll just launch this now. Okay, so which subject will you be studying? So if you want to take part, it's just a multiple choice, select your one. So it could be diagnostic radiography and imaging, various nursing courses, adult nursing, child nursing, learning disabilities or mental health, paramedic science, physiotherapy, midwifery, social work or therapeutic radiography. So if you're happy to take part, please do feel free to select your course and then we'll have a look at these results together as well. Excellent. I can see lots of you have taken part in this, which is brilliant. We love it when you interact with us on these sessions. So we've almost got 100% of the people have taken part. So I will close the poll now and we'll have a look at these together. Excellent. So we've actually got lots of people from nursing with us on this call. So this is a great chance for you to hear a little bit more about the facilities that will be with us. I think we've also got a video from an alumni as well later on in the session. A few from diagnostic radiography, physiotherapy, social work as well. So thank you so much for joining us. What we'll do now, I'll pass to my colleagues who'll tell you a bit more about what's waiting for you in the school at Herts.
Thank you very much, Kat. And so I'd just like to welcome everyone to the School of Health, Medicine and Life Sciences. We're a new school that started in March 2025, and that was bringing together the former schools of Health and Social Work and Life and Medical Sciences. And we'll be joined by a new medical programme for doctors that commences in September 2026. And I think that will really open up some opportunities for interprofessional education. And we're really excited about this because I think it's been really a long-term ambition of the university to have a medical programme. Next slide, please, Kat. So, as I say, we are a very big school. We have 5 departments, over 700 staff, and that includes academic staff, research staff, administrative and technical staff. And our technical staff consist of our educational technologists, and they support us with our digital and online activities. And then we have technical staff who support the staff working in the practical labs. So we're one of the largest health and social work providers in the UK. We're the largest providers of new graduate nurses to local NHS trusts. We're the first UK university to offer paramedic degrees, and that programme's now been running for over 20 years. We're the largest UK provider of radiography education, and we're the only provider of pre-registration learning disability nursing in the east of England. And in midwifery, our students provide maternity care to women and their families across Hertfordshire, east of England, and North London. So research-informed teaching is really very important to us, and we want to ensure that all of our teaching is research-informed. So in other words, we place a lot of emphasis on evidence and current research, and that includes research that our own staff are undertaking. And being research-informed ensures that the teaching is up to date, and that we can justify what we do and what we teach is based on evidence. So we have 2 research centres related to our fields of study. So CRIPAC is our Centre for Research in Public Health and Community Care. That's a very well-established research centre which has a focus on primary care, public health, social sciences and nutrition. And then we have a relatively new Centre for Applied Clinical Health and Care Research called CASH, that's very much based in the departments. And that's really to enable us to grow and expand our research in all fields of nursing, social work, and the allied health professions. So in the UK, we have what's known as the Research Excellence Framework, known as REF. And that's the UK's system of assessing the quality of research in UK universities. So the outcomes of REF are used to inform the allocation of public funding that supports universities' research. So the better your research is judged, the more funding that you have for the next time there's a Research Excellence Framework, which will actually be in 2029. So in the last Research Excellence Framework, 87% of our research outputs and publications that were submitted were graded as world-leading and internationally excellent. And our research was also ranked 12th for impact, and obviously impact is really important to us because we want our research to be making a difference and benefiting our patients and service users. And our ranking demonstrated that. So we'll be building on that success with the 2 research centres and also the opportunities afforded by the networks across the wider School of Health, Medicine and Life Sciences. And we really want to grow our research across the different professions and really have an impact on practice. Next slide, please, Kat. So rankings are also really important to us. So there are a number of league tables that are produced in the UK for universities, and you may have looked at some of these yourselves. So 2 of these are The Guardian and the Complete University Guide, and they're well-respected bodies which undertake an annual review of some of the health and care professions and programmes across the UK to produce a league table. And that's based on things like student satisfaction surveys, staff numbers, the ratio of staff to students, how much a university spends on resources, and what the career prospects are once someone has completed a programme and when you go on to find your first job. So in our the latest rankings in 2025, we are second for nursing and midwifery in the east of England, and we're second for paramedic science as well in the east of England. And for the Guardian League tables, we're second in the UK for mental health nursing, we're third for children's nursing, fourth for general nursing, that includes adult and learning disability nursing, fourth for physiotherapy, fourth for social work, and 12th for paramedic science. So really important that we can demonstrate that we're well positioned in those league tables. Next slide, please. So our facilities are really important, and they'll be really important to you as well, because that's where we do a lot of our practical training with mannequins, with specialist equipment that we have, and also our computer facilities. So in the allied health professions, we have our physiotherapy skills labs. We have paramedic science skills labs where they do a lot of simulation work and practice using mannequins. In diagnostic radiography, we've got 2 X-ray labs. We've got ultrasound labs. We have a CT scanner, and we also have a dedicated computer lab for viewing images, obviously an important part of a radiographer's work. In therapeutic radiography, we've got what's known as the VIRT, which is our sort of virtual 3D radiotherapy simulation centre. And we also have another sort of computer facilities for radiotherapy planning. And also we have the, access to the CT scanner, which is based in diagnostic radiography. And I'm going to pass over to Philomena now to talk about nursing facilities. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you. Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you. We also have several nursing laboratories. So we have a 4-storey clinical simulation centre in the centre of Hatfield, which has got simulated nursing wards, an intensive care setup, operating theatre, etc. And we also have very newly furbished, newly built labs in the Wright building on College Lane, which also have 2 state-of-the-art nursing laboratories, two immersive nursing labs as well. So we have we're able to do a range of scenarios where for all the different fields of nursing where you are immersed in technology. So you're in a room and images, etc., and teaching is projected onto the walls. I think that's probably the best way of talking about that. But it is very up to the minute and state of the art. We also use virtual reality simulation facilities across all of the nursing programs, and we use those in assessment as well. We have interactive mannequins, state-of-the-art interactive mannequins, and lots of up-to-the-minute audio-visual equipment. We have across the 4 fields of nursing, so we run adult nursing, children's nursing, mental health nursing, and learning disability nursing. We have bespoke facilities for each of those fields. So the children's nursing field has its own lab. Adult nursing have their own lab. We do use each other's as well. And we also have a learning disability and mental health space where simulation can be carried out. Because of the way that our Nursing and Midwifery Council stipulate our programmes are approved, we are able to use some of this simulation as practice hours. So that is counted in the practice hours that you would need to do for your programme. And each student on the master's programme will have 100 hours of simulated practice learning. Each student on the undergraduate programme, the BSc nursing, will have 150 hours of simulated practice learning, which is included in the 2,300 hours of practice that you need to successfully complete before you can register with the NMC. So that's can you next slide please? I think that's worth thinking about as well. This is a video that just demonstrates the simulation facilities and our simulation team with a number of students who are currently on the programme or have completed the programme. Do you want to start the video? Thank you. And just to say that all of you will be having some simulated, the ones who are doing the nursing programs will be having some simulated practice before you go out onto your first placement, which people find really valuable to prepare them for the first placement. The other thing to say about placements, that all the programs have integrated placements so that you will learn in real world settings. And we do try and well, we do have a pattern of placements, particularly in the nursing programs, where you experience a range of different settings. So you might have some community placements, some ward placements, some nursing home placements, etc. And that's all planned out as part of your program. Nursing students, as I've said, spend about half of their time in placement. So your theory hours amount to around 2,300 hours, and the placement hours another 2,300, which sounds a lot when you say it all at once, but it is spread across the whole breadth of the programme. And as I've said before, some of that simulated placement learning that you're getting in the labs counts towards that. We work in partnership, as may be obvious, with the National Health Service, with local authorities, with private and voluntary and independent sector providers such as hospices, nursing homes, etc. And we work in partnership to place students there and support students while they're in placement. So, you know, you will have an academic assessor who will support you while you're in placement. Our courses are approved by various professional bodies. The nursing courses are all approved by the Nursing and Midwifery Council, and many of the allied health courses are approved by the Health Professions Council or Social Work England. There are excellent career prospects, and most people find work in a range of healthcare and social care settings. Some of them in education go on to become teachers, some of them in research, some of them in clinical practice in a variety of locations in the UK. We have a high demand from our NHS partners and private sector partners for our students. They're always looking for Hertfordshire students. And the Careers and Employment team also provide 4 years of job search support for our graduates afterwards. Okay. Next slide. Is this the alumni video? So sorry, I think this is, Jess.
Yeah, that's the one, Philomena. We've got a yeah, just a short video now of one of our alumni, Gloria's story, just to show you what she's been up to since graduating.
And she's a nurse, isn't she?
Yes, she is, yeah.
Okay.
My name is Gloria Scapite. I studied adult nursing at the University of Hertfordshire. I am now a research nurse at the East and North Hertfordshire NHS Trust. My role as a research nurse means that we check for patients who are eligible for a trial. We then consent those patients by letting them know what the trial is about and fully educating them on what happens on a clinical trial, any activities that we've done on the trial to the sponsors, and the end product of that is whether the research has been beneficial to the healthcare industry. My leadership skills started at the university. I was able to hone in on the kind of leader that I am. I was able to go outside my comfort zone and be able to handle situations that before I would have been very apprehensive to do. The university encourages us to be at the forefront of what the most recent research is, and they taught me how to use that research to the best ability that I can. Simulations were my favorite. I am a very audio-visual learner. I think that was the best part of my course. I remember meeting the research team just before I did my research placement. It was amazing to find out what they had published and how it affected the end result of what I was about to do as a nurse, so the evidence practice side of it. My degree prepared me for what was to come. It prepared me for being outside of the university and being a nurse.
All right, thank you so much, Karen and Philomena. So lots of information in there, everyone. Please do start putting those questions in the Q&A if you've got any queries. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to do a short interactive bit now just to see who we've got participating in this session today. It's all anonymous, so don't worry. But I'm just going to swap my screen and we're going to use something called Mentimeter, which is a good idea for you to get used to practicing with this, because you might find that during your time at Herts you actually use this software as well. So I'll just get this quiz ready. And then I'll reshare my screen so you can join if you want to. We love if you want to participate, that would be brilliant. Okay, so if you would like to join in, please either go to menti.com, use the code, or you can scan the QR code as well. And then if you're in there, just give a little thumbs up so I can see how many people we've got. There's no right or wrong questions. It's all going to be anonymous, so it's just a little bit of fun so you can get to know your future fellow classmates as well, and see where people are from. Oh, brilliant. We've got three people in there already, so thank you for that. I'm going to put the link in the chat as well for everybody. Okay, so if you do want to take part, please do go to menti.com, use the code, and then we'll start the quiz. Oh, brilliant. I can see 11 of you's in there now, so thank you very much. Okay, what I'll do then, we'll go to the first question. If you're still setting up your Menti, you'll be able to join at any point, so you can just hop onto the website whenever you want to. But now, so the first question we've got is, what country are you from? So you should get a little pin that you can drag onto the world map. Don't worry about trying to be too accurate. I know if you're doing it on your phone, it's going to be quite fiddly on the screen, but just drop your pin as close as you can to whereabouts you are in the world, and we'll have a look if you might have some neighbours in the audience with you. Oh, brilliant. It looks like we've got some people there. I'll just wait for a few more pins to drop on as well. So I think we've got maybe Nigeria, Italy, India. Good mix here, everybody. Oh, brilliant. We've even got North and South America there as well. in China. Oh, wow. So you really are across all time zones. So thank you so much for giving up your time today to join us. I know that for some of you, it's very early in the morning. So that's excellent to see. Thank you for taking part in that. Should give you an idea of where your future classmates are going to be as well. So it looks like you'll definitely have a lot of friends from around the world once you join us. But what we'll do, we'll go to the next question. Oh, a few more of you joining in as well. Thank you. Okay, so next question is, what are your personal goals for the course? So again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's all anonymous, but we just want to get an idea of what your personal goals are for the course. So on this type of Menti, it should just let you put in a sentence, or you can put in a word. I think this, we've got an answer there for the previous question, but thank you for joining in for that. So it might be things like, to get your degree, progress your academics. You might want to get the hands-on experience. You might want to have a certain career goal in mind, or a job that you want to go into. So somebody's put career advancement on there, which is brilliant. Like I say, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just so that you can interact with us a bit and we can know what you want to get out of your time at Herts. Career progression, play an active role in providing frontline care. Yeah, absolutely. As Phil and Karen said, there's a lot of hands-on experience for these courses at Herts, so you'll definitely get a taste of that. Start my career as a nursing practitioner, hands-on experience again. Academic pursuit, professional development. There's lots here now. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Placements, yeah, absolutely. The placements are integrated into the courses so that you really do then know what you're getting when you progress after your degree as well. Upskill, professional development, help people in the most vulnerable time and improve lives. That's really, really lovely to hear as well, definitely. So yeah, thank you for sharing those, everybody. We'll go on to the next question now.
There are some, just before we go on, there are a couple there that I just wondered if we could pick up on. One person said they would very much like to go into teaching or public health nursing, and another one has talked about a doctorate in nursing practice. I mean, obviously this is an pre-registration course, but definitely those opportunities are there afterwards. We do run the community nursing public health course, and there are doctoral opportunities as well for people, obviously dependent on visa status and all the rest of it. So just to let you know that we do run those courses also.
Well, thanks for picking up on that, Phil. I didn't see that one in there as I'm scanning the ones that are coming in, but yeah, absolutely. Okay, so next question now, everybody. We've got, what's one word that you associate with Herts? So this is going to generate a bit of a word cloud for us. Again, no right or wrong answer. Enter as many times as you want and we can get a bit of a word cloud going, but it should let you just submit one word at a time. Oh, home away from home. That's very nice. Heart. So yeah, you can put in your answers there for whatever you associate with Herts. Excellence, welcoming, research, acceptance, family. Oh, these are very, very nice. And you can see as more people type in the same things, those words get bigger as well. So you can see heart and research. A lot of people are putting those in. Quality education, opportunity, flexible payment options. Yeah, we'll send you more information about that shortly as well. Teaching, professionalism, supportive, care. Yeah, difference. Excellent. I know somebody on the previous slide said they wanted to make a difference in their community through doing the health courses. Excellent. And you can see that quite clearly the big ones now: excellence, quality education, and opportunities and supportive. So that's really nice for us to know kind of what you've picked up on, because we know that you might not have even had a chance to come to the UK yet. This might be just everything that you've been able to read up on our website about our courses, hearing from different alumni, or maybe you know a student that has come and studied with us as well. So that's brilliant. Thank you. So I'm going to move on to our next question now in the quiz. You're all doing very well picking up this software. Okay, so next question. So what stage of application are you at? So some of you might be preparing to apply. I think most of you in this session though are actually already offer holders. You might have submitted your documents, you're waiting for an offer. You might be at that stage where you're paying your deposit, clearing the rest of your conditions. You might have done all that. You might be ready for your CAS, or you might have received your CAS and you might be applying for your visa. So again, we'll just get an idea of where you're at. Everybody's going to be at different stages, and I'll give a bit more guidance on this soon as well. But that's great. It looks like you're all at mostly at the stages where you've cleared all your conditions, you're waiting for your CAS, or you're starting your visa application or paying your deposit. So that's great. If you haven't already, now is the time to be paying your deposits, because admissions can issue CAS now for anybody who's cleared all their conditions. But that's brilliant. It looks like everybody's moving through their application journey. So if you do need support with that, again, ask us some questions in the chat. We are there to help you through it as well. And then I think I've got one more question, everyone, and then I'll go on to the start of term preparation. So this one's more for me, for feedback to our team. So how do you prefer to receive information from Herts? So we know that there's a lot that you need to learn on the run up to studying with us. Do you like information in webinars like this? Emails, calls, in-person events in your country, or reminders through social media? So this is multiple choice, so you can select as many of the answers as you want, but it's just so that we've got a better idea of how you would like us to get that information to you for those reminders or things that you need to know. All right, brilliant. So we can see emails are definitely the winner, so we'll keep that in mind for you. Webinars like this coming up close second, with calls as well, and then in-person events and social media afterwards. So that's really helpful for us, and we will take that on board as well for any future updates that we do pass on to you. Okay, and I think that is the end of that section. So thank you so much to everyone who did join in with us. What I'll do now is I will flip back to the slides, and I'll just give you a bit of help on what we'll be doing to help you prepare for the start of term. Okay, so I'm just...
There were a couple of questions in the chat. I don't know when you're going to if you were going to come to them. Somebody wanted to know about annual leave. Are we going to do that at the end?
Yeah, I'll just do a little bit on the start of term. It'll just be a quick section, everyone, and then we'll go to Q&A. I know Ellen and Jess are answering as many as they can in the chat as we go as well, just to make sure that we do them all. But yeah, I'll be quick, and then we'll get to that for you.
Don't worry.
Okay, so hopefully you can all see my screen now, ready for preparing for the start of term. So as we said on that Menti, you're all at different stages of your application. Most of you are at that CAS stage, which is brilliant. But if you're not, just keep an eye out on your emails, your most recent guidance email from admissions. Make sure that you're sending in your documents to clear your conditions, paying your deposit. Some of you might be invited to complete a sponsorship interview or financial checks. If those are required for you, admissions will send you an email. They'll confirm what you need to do. There'll be guidance on what to expect as well. And then you can progress to CAS stage. When you've got your CAS, you can do your visa application and start planning your travel to the UK. So if at any point you get stuck, do reach out to our teams and we can guide you on next steps. Now, especially for students who are doing health-related courses, you'll have also received an email with a document attached to you, just to give you a bit more information about what to expect with funding your studies, things like your term time address, so guidance on that, which I'll run through a bit more information on shortly, and practice placements. So we get a lot of questions about kind of the uniforms for practice placements, where they're based. Will you get paid during them? How much is the travel? So hopefully this document has just helped you out. We've built this using the frequently asked questions that our previous applicants had. But if there's anything still on there that you're not sure about, let us know. Or if you haven't received this, let us know and we'll make sure that we get another copy sent out to you as well. But it's also available on our website. Now I'm just going to do another short poll and then I'll go back to the guidance. So we've talked a lot about the academic side of Herts and what to expect from your course, your placement, but there's a lot of areas of social side of Herts as well. So what are you most looking forwards to? So I'm just going to launch this poll. Okay, let's have a look. So it might be joining a society. We've got an SU team at Herts who are there to support you. It's a really great way to meet people who are interested in a similar thing to you. If you've got a hobby and a society doesn't already exist, you can speak to your SU rep and they can help you set up a society. You might be interested in exploring the local area of Hatfield or London. We've also got a team called Heart Squad at Herts. They do offer a lot of sporting events. There's something for everyone. So even if you wouldn't class yourself as particularly sporty, they've got something for all abilities. And they also offer free sport every week as well for students. So you can try out different things. I think over the last year, they've been doing some learn to ride a bike or roller skating around campus. So definitely get involved in those. Or you might be interested in attending an SU event at the forum. So again, lots of people joining in. I'm going to end this poll in a minute. So if you are wanting to join in and you haven't pressed the button already, please do so. And we'll have a quick look at the results together. Okay, brilliant. So lots of people looking forward to joining societies and exploring Hatfield, which is great. Around the start of term, the Dean of Students team, they actually offer free tours of Hatfield. So they'll do a walking tour with you if you want to do that. They'll take you to some of the local supermarkets, show you the best walking route to get there from campus, how to use the self-service checkout tills if you've not used one of those before as well. So yeah, do get involved in that and we'll share a lot more detail with you on the run up to it. But nice mix of answers there, everyone. Thank you. Okay. So how are we going to help you prepare for the start of term? Now, same as this webinar, we will be doing specific webinars for start of term. So we'll be doing pre-arrival ones where we'll cover key information like what documents you need to pack, what you should be putting in your hand luggage versus your hold luggage, tips for navigating the airports, and how to get from the 4 London airports to the campus as well. And alongside the webinars, we'll also be updating our pre-arrival guide on our website, just so that it's got everything you need in there. So once that's updated for the September intake, we'll email that round to you as well. But that's usually kind of mid-July, so probably in about 6 weeks' time. Orientation and freshers. So these are 2 weeks worth of activities just to help you settle into life in the UK, meet some people who are outside of your course as well. So the events calendar does get updated up to the run up to start of term. So probably around September time, you'll see that a lot more events get populated on there. It's a good idea to bookmark it just so that you've got it saved and join as many activities as you're able to outside of your academics, especially around the start of term, so you can start building those networks and those friendships. A lot of the activities are free as well. And as I mentioned before, you've got the Students' Union, lots of sports clubs, societies, and there's also chaplaincy and religious groups as well. So we've got 2 multi-faith spaces, 1 on each campus, and you're welcome to use those as well while you're a student at Herts. And another thing to keep an eye out for is Hertfordshire Internships. So if you're going to be a postgraduate offer holder, we'll be sending you more information about this soon, but these are just remote programs personalised to you. They're supported by a team of professionals. There's host companies in 18 career fields around the world as well, so you can get matched to a company that shares your interests. And this is just another way to give that boost to your CV. You can build your network, build your professional relationships as well. And it's an opt-in voluntary experience. So if this is something that you like the idea of and you want to get that additional certificate showing you've done a short internship, then you can sign up and we'll be sending you more information about that soon as well. Now, a bit more of a serious slide. So academic engagement and attendance. Be ready to start your course on your programme start date. Some programmes will have an early start date, so make sure that you're aware of when yours is. Again, we will be sending you reminders on the run up to start of term, just so that you've got that personal email for you, but do make sure that you get yourself organised. Engagement with studies is monitored. You'll need to attend face-to-face sessions. You'll get an ID card like shown in that image in the bottom there, and you will need to swipe in to confirm your attendance. If your engagement drops below 80%, it can get quite serious. You might be withdrawn from the course. You might even be withdrawn from your visa. So that's why it's really important. Make sure that you are attending. This is the reason why you're coming to uni, to get those grades, to learn. You're paying for your education. Make sure that you're making the most of it. This is a reason why we say make sure you're living within easy commute of campus, so that it makes it easier for you to get to your lectures. You've got access to the learning resource centres, and you're not going to be paying a lot and spending a lot of time on your commute as well. But I will run through some more rules around living locations shortly as well. So things to do now. We do have a free online Getting Ready to Study at Herts workbook. This is a great thing to do while you're waiting for your CAS, while you're waiting to hear back from your visa application. So it's a free platform. It'll just get you used to the online resources at Herts as well. But in there's things like video tours of the LRCs, so you can learn your way around. Tips from other international students, things they wish they'd known before they joined Herts. Tips for academic excellence as well. So do engage with that workbook. Now is also the time to book your accommodation. So if you haven't already, please do make sure that that is arranged. It must be arranged before you travel. We do still have rooms available on campus, and that is what we would recommend. You've got 24/7 support. You don't need a UK guarantor. All your utility bills, Wi-Fi and contents insurance are included. If you do need to live off campus for whatever reason, please do use PAL accredited landlords. So what PAL is, it's a scheme that the university has set up with the local council. It's a website that we'll have emailed to you. It's on our Herts website as well, but all the properties shown on there, they're in a good state of repair. The landlords have been vetted. Any deposit that you need to pay is being held securely. And the images match what the property looks like in real life as well. We know it's difficult if you're trying to book accommodation without being in the country. So this is going to make sure that you get something that matches what it looks like online. Please just be vigilant if you're seeing property advertised on social media, if somebody's WhatsApping you. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Don't fall victim to any scams. Use PAL or stay in on-campus accommodation, because then you know you're guaranteed what you're getting. We do have a rule that you need to live a maximum 2 hours or 30-mile commute from campus. Now, personally, I think that's too far. I wouldn't want to be travelling 2 hours there and back every day. So that's why I recommend people live on campus if you can. It's just going to give you a much better experience. You know, you're going to get to your lectures really quickly. You've got all that support there on campus for you as well. But if you do need to live a little bit further than the Hatfield area, so you can't walk in, do your research about the commute as well. So look at the Uno bus network, see what the price is going to be, and also National Rail. And just be careful, because in the UK, we do have peak prices for National Rail. So you need to check out those, because if you're travelling in the morning using the rail network, the prices are going to be a little bit more as well. So you might find that once you've had a look at all this, a property that's further away that seems cheaper is actually going to cost you a lot more because of that commute. So make sure you don't get caught out. And then just a last reminder from me to get your conditions in, pay your deposit. Now is the time, so that we can start prepping you for CAS, give you plenty of time to get your visa application in, so that you're not rushing last minute, trying to get here ready for those start dates as well. So I've got one last video, just a bit of our accommodation, so you can see what that looks like and you know what I've been talking about, and then we will go to Q&A. So thank you so much for your patience, everyone. So one last video now.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and today I'm going to show you all of the amazing things of why did I choose to live on College Land campus. First, let's start with my bedroom. It's so close to classes and contains everything that you need. And here's my kitchen, where I get to meet all of my flatmates. However, for larger gatherings, we've got common rooms, perfect for everything from group yoga to movie nights. And not to forget the oval. It's great to have a team of support staff to help with just about everything. And a gym for those post-lecture workouts. That really is everything you need on campus. Whether you like to go for a walk outdoors, Or if you like to get your focus to the max in the LRC. Looking for a quiet space to pray, meditate or reflect? Well, the key is the place to visit. Whatever faith you have or even you have none. Here in the Hudson Hub, you can access to all kinds of information with our Ask Hearts Hub. For the best night out, I definitely visit 77 here at the Forum. Over to you, Judith.
Hi everyone, welcome to De Havilland. I'm Judith and I'll be showing you why living here is amazing. The bedrooms are particularly great. You have absolutely everything you need in here. Say hello to the kitchen, where all the cooking and catching up with flatmates happens. In need of support? There's a whole team of staff ready to help here in the accommodation office. And just next door is the common room. Many a games night have been hosted in here. When you're feeling extra energetic, you can head over to the sports village. It's great to come over after classes to get a workout in at the gym or take a dive in the huge pool. Just like College Lane, this campus has its very own LRC. And also the beautiful Cafe Ambition with its great music and even better coffee. So that's a wrap. Thanks for coming along with us. Hope to see you on campus soon.
Brilliant. So we hope you enjoyed that. If you do want to see any more accommodation tours to help you make your choice, they are available on YouTube as well. But now, thank you very much for waiting. We'll go to Q&A now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you for your questions that you're submitting as well, everybody. So I'm going to start answering these live, or asking them live so they can be answered for you. And Phil, I've got a question for you that I think is a really interesting one. An applicant has said, what is a typical week like for a first-year nursing student at the University of Hertfordshire?
Okay, I'll try and answer that as best I can. Just, I suppose, to say that a typical week's hard. It depends whether your that week is spent in the university or it's a placement week. And I can see that there's a question about placements further down, which I might be able to answer as well. So a typical week at university would be, what we try and do is organize the timetable so that you attend 4 days a week instead of the full 5. So hopefully you have 1 day a week in which you can study or spend as you wish. So and lectures run usually from 9 to 5, but we do have some sessions late in the evening, not often, but you will probably find somewhere in your timetable that you will need to be attending lectures up to 7 o'clock in the evening, but you might not be starting till later that day. And that's due to the availability of labs. As you can imagine, you know, we have many students using the labs, and we have to timetable it carefully so that you get a good experience in the labs. Lab classes generally, where we're doing simulated practice, are small. So there'll be groups of 12 of you taught together. And that means that you are taught, you know, we have to spread those sessions out throughout the day. So a typical week on campus would be you attending probably 4 days. On a rare occasion, it might be 5. Sometimes it might be 3. You will be in class from 9 till 5, and probably have breaks throughout the day. You know, you won't be just sitting there all day. And some lectures will be late in the evening, but not many. So I hope that helps there. Somebody else later down in the Q&A, and I'm only dealing with this now because a typical week in placement will be quite different. So if you're out in placement, the placement providers will treat you in many ways like a member of permanent staff, in that you will be expected to work the shifts that they allocate you. So that doesn't mean going on nights all the time, but it might mean that you come in for early shifts or late shifts or split shifts or whatever it is that they are doing in that placement. And that just depends on the rota, the staff rota. In your placement weeks, you could be you'll be working from 37 to 40 hours a week to complete your placement hours. So that would be your typical placement week, and you would have 2 days off in that week. So I hope that I can see that. I'm sorry, I'm only just taking these 2 questions together because I think it makes sense. I can see that one of the participants has asked if placements are merged with coursework in a week, or are they separated? Is 1 week placement and the other week coursework? I think what you're asking is, are you at university one week and then out in placement the next? The answer is no. We do blocks of placements. So usually those blocks are a minimum of 6 weeks, occasionally 4 weeks, but you can say that you'll be out in placement usually for a 6-week block and then come back into the university for a teaching block. And I know that there's another question in there about annual leave, and this is all connected, so I hope I can answer that question as well. Yes, you do get holiday. The MSc and the BSc, there are 2 weeks holiday at Christmas. And for the MSc, I believe there's a week at Easter, and for the BSc there are 2, and 2 weeks at Easter. And for the BSc, then there's some holiday in the summer. And I'm just looking, I'm calling up the placement pattern now so that I can answer you fully. The reason why the BSc gets slightly more holiday is because you've got 3 years to complete your course, where the MSc only have 2. So it does mean that there's more to fit in. So for an MSc student starting in September 2025, you would be on annual leave or holiday from the 22nd of September for 2 weeks, December, so sorry, for 2 weeks, and then for a week in April for in the first year. And then you would have, I'm just making sure that I'm telling you this properly now, then you will have 2 weeks in May holiday and 2 weeks in the summer, so July and August. So that's the typical pattern for an MSc student. And for a BSc student, I have told you the right thing there. And for a BSc student, very similar, but you have more holiday in the summer. You've got longer to do the programme. So I hope I've kind of answered about 3 questions there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Phil. That was really useful. Great information there. Kat, I've got a question here for you. So an applicant has said, when should I expect my CAS to be issued?
Great question. So if you've cleared all your conditions, you've paid your full deposit, you've done any additional checks that have been required, so if you needed your interview, financial checks, anything extra that admissions have asked you to do, we are issuing CAS now for offer holders who are at that stage. So if you've cleared everything, it could be any day now. Keep an eye on your emails, because they do email your CAS to you. Or if you're working with your in-country representative, we can send it to them and they can do those final bit of checks with you as well to make sure that you've got everything in place ready for your visa application.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kat. Karen, I've got an applicant here that's asking about the DBS check process. So they've said that they've kind of submitted the form, but that it's still part of their conditional offer. And so they're just wondering, you know, when do they need to do that? When do they need to do the police character certificate and reference as well? So Karen, I wonder if you're able to help with this and just kind of talk the applicants through the DBS check process.
I mean, essentially, the DBS check needs to be started as soon as possible, because sometimes there can be delays. And so actually having enough time to get that process through. It also really depends on, obviously DBS often relates to actually when you're living in the UK. And so if they don't have a similar process in your own country, then you would need to have a sort of certificate of good conduct that you might need to get from a solicitor. So again, the sooner you can get access to that and you can provide that to the admissions team or to the international office, the better it will be, because it's one of your prerequisites that has to be included, you know, as part of your offer that you will need to do.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That's really helpful, Karen. I'm just having a look through some of the questions. Philomena, are you able to talk about some of the core modules within the MSc Mental Health programme for us? I think there's a few queries about that.
Yeah, I can see that somebody's asked about if anatomy and physiology is taught on the programme. It is. I think probably the titles of some of the modules don't, because it's impossible to put everything into a title, isn't it? But for the MSc nursing programme, there are several modules that are taught to all students together. And so anatomy and physiology will be covered in one of those. We couldn't do a nursing programme. We wouldn't be approved to do a nursing programme without teaching some of that. Some of the fields, such as adult nursing, get a lot more of it because they need more of it, but you will be taught some anatomy and physiology on the learning disability and mental health programs, definitely.
Fantastic, thank you so much. I've got another quick question for you, Phil. So an applicant has said, how can nurses, they've said interface, so I'm wondering if they might mean interact with other kind of health students, health experts like the doctors, pharmacists and therapists. So how would that work?
Yes, well, there are opportunities, obviously, through societies and things like that to do that. And we are looking more at some multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary working. So we do quite a lot of that already. But with the medical school coming along, we will be doing more of that. And the interface is generally out in practice. That's where you'll meet the others and be able to work with them on a day-to-day basis.
Fantastic, thank you so much, Phil. Kat, I've got a question here for you. So I know we've kind of reached the hour, and so it's a really interesting question. So an applicant has said, why are there no scholarships available for nursing or for the health and social work programs?
I could start that, Kat, if that's all right. So we do have a few scholarships, and it's very dependent on people bequeathing or donating money, and then what they will do is say we want a scholarship for this or whatever it is, and it might be for children's nurses, or it might be for people from what they class as a deprived background, or they put conditions around it. So we do have a few of those, and there is a competitive process for applying for them. And some, I can recall a couple of years ago, there was a scholarship for male students, for example. So it's the donor that really puts the conditions around who can apply. But I'll hand over to you now, Kat.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good advice, Philomena. And also the Heart scholarships, a lot of the health courses, they come with these integrated placements, so they're quite costly courses for the university to run anyway. So it's just all down to what the actual education costs with the course, how in demand those courses are as well, and just that extra level that you need to have because these courses are so intense with the placement options, all the facilities that are on campus for the hands-on learning as well. There's a lot involved in these courses behind the scenes that you'll get to see when you join Hearts.
There's a question as well about oh gosh, I've lost it now. It's all there jumping around.
Yeah, we've had a few at the end. I'm just conscious of time, everyone. If you have got other commitments and you do need to leave, then please feel free, because I know some of our staff have got other things to do, but I can stay on for a few more minutes just to help answer these last ones. But colleagues, if you do need to leave for other meetings, please feel free, and we can wrap up the final ones.
I can stay for a while, Kat, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
5 minutes and then I will need to leave.
Yeah, okay.
So somebody's asked about the materials being taught if they're available after the talk has happened. Most of our lectures are recorded, so you will be able to visit them afterwards and look at them. There are some exceptions to that, particularly I think in the mental health field, where there may be things that are discussed that people don't want to have on record. So there are some exceptions to that, but most of the material is available after class and before it. So on our Canvas system, on our module sites, you'll be able to get lecture notes, slides, other resources well ahead of the lectures.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Phil. Karen, I'll come to you for probably the final question that we'll be able to answer live. So what facilities are available for the social work programmes? Is it only lectures and projects and assignments? Is there any field work available? So they were just wondering how they'd get hands-on experience as well. So if you're able to talk about that, Karen, that'd be brilliant.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, the social work students have placements in the same way as the health students do. So they actually spend a lot of the first year of the programme looking at the theoretical understanding of social work and really sort of looking at how that then is applied to different populations. They have to undertake preparation for placement modules. And have to be able to pass those, and then in order to then to go on to their placement, which they do a 100-day placement and a 70-day placement during their course in the second and third year of the programme. So the experience is very similar. There's a big focus in social work on working with experts by experience. So service users, so people who have got lived experience, and really working very much in partnership with them. And that's not just in the delivery of the programme, but it's in the preparation, co-production of the curriculum, which all programmes do, but is really immersed in the social work programme. And they do bring in actors, again, as other programmes do, to really make that authentic learning in the classroom, so that students then, when they go out into practice, they really feel, you know, well prepared and confident for the challenges that they will, you know, experience it. But then in practice, you're supported by a practice educator all the times as well. So you wouldn't be left in a situation where you didn't have support available to you.
And that what Karen said, she's put it really beautifully. That goes for the nursing programmes as well. We do exactly that.
That's fantastic. That's brilliant that actors are used. I bet that's really, really useful for students.
Yes, a really good experience of that in the programmes at the moment across all professions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for all your questions. Kat, I'm going to pass now back to you just to finish the session.
Brilliant, thank you. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for sending in your questions. If you do think of a question later after the session, then do email it to us. And like we said, if you do want to watch this session back, we have been recording it, so we'll share a copy of that when it's ready as well. Now, if you do want to hear from some of our other students about their experience of hearts, tips that they want to give you, they are available on our international social channels. We know that it makes a difference if you can actually hear their thoughts as well. So please feel free to go and check those out, just to hear about other international students and what they've been up to since joining. And our contact details if you need us. So a lot of the information that we share in the guidance is on the international section of the website, but our email is international@hearts.ac.uk. For anything urgent, please feel free to give our team a call as well. And as on the run up to start of term, we will be posting reminders on our social channels about just tips and things that you'll need for travel, reminders about things like the tap water being safe to drink in the UK. So just lots of things to help you along the way. I am going to play one short video then just to wrap up the session, but colleagues, if you need to leave now, thank you so much for giving up your time today and sharing a little bit about what to expect in September for everybody. But thank you, everyone.
Can I ask a question, Kat? It's just that several people have said they haven't received the leaflet, you know, that you showed about placement and everything. Is there anywhere where people can access that?
Yeah, it's on the website. So if you haven't received that, it's probably in your emails. We know you get a lot of emails, but it'll just be on the application guidance page, and you can go to the health section on there, and you'll see that in a offer holder guidance link. But we'll be able to resend that en masse to you as well.
Thank you.
Right, brilliant. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your days wherever you are in the world.